I was a graduate student in the philosophy department. He rented an apartment off campus for the quiet. Liam had never met his roommate. He only knew the man came by occasionally at night. Last semester, Liam took a leave of absence for a brain tumor. His divorced parents had new families. They did not have much time for him. A young woman cared for him while he was blind, awaiting surgery. She claimed to be a nurse sent by his mother. This woman was quiet and an excellent cook. Her long hair sometimes brushed his arms softly, but when she helped him, she felt unusually tall. After his surgery, the woman disappeared. Liam searched for her for a long time. His mother said she never hired a nurse for him. A sense of dread began to creep in. He returned to his classes at the university. He brought his cat, Plato, back from a friend's house. The cat immediately began to patrol its territory. It explored every corner of the apartment. Somehow, Plato had learned how to open doors. It pushed open the roommate's door and slipped inside. Liam was startled by this. He called the cat, but it would not come out. He worried Plato would damage his roommate's belongings. Liam sent a text message to his roommate. He explained he needed to enter the room to get his cat. He hoped his roommate would understand. Finally, he found the orange cat in the closet. It was curled up comfortably among the clothes. Liam picked him up from the pile. He noticed a black wig inside the closet. Next to it was a voice-changing device. He paused for a moment. Liam reached out and touched the wig instinctively. The texture felt strangely familiar. A thought flashed through his mind. Suddenly, a cold laugh echoed behind him. The voice remarked that he had been discovered. It asked if he was very disappointed. Liam turned around, terrified. He saw a familiar face. Ethan. His roommate was Ethan? He had the same blank, indifferent expression, but his beautiful eyes held a frightening possessiveness. This look always appeared when he gazed at Liam. Liam took a step back instinctively. Ethan grabbed his wrist, stopping him. He asked if Liam was done hiding from him. Liam had known Ethan for a long time. He had a part-time tutoring job as an undergraduate. The parents of that family were always busy. They only contacted him through text messages. They cared little for their son's well-being. They only needed to know he was alive. The first time Liam met Ethan, he sensed he was different. A housekeeper explained he had a mild form of Asperger's syndrome. Ethan was brilliant but rarely spoke. Liam saw his perfect test scores. He realized Ethan did not need a tutor. He just needed someone to watch over him. Ethan would only speak to him on occasion. They discussed things like the ship of Theseus or mathematical paradoxes. When Ethan spoke, he never made eye contact. His gaze was fixed on a complex Rubik's Cube, but his eyes were beautiful, clear, and pure. They made him seem as pristine as the first snow. Liam had thought he was devoid of emotion, until one day during a heavy thunderstorm. He noticed Ethan seemed nervous. Ethan put down the cube and stared at a puzzle. The puzzle depicted a happy family of 3. Liam did problems with him. They played logic games to distract him. Liam admired Ethan greatly. He thought they would become good friends. But during Liam's graduate school application year, Ethan confessed to him. Ethan was a senior in high school then. He picked a bouquet of tulips from his mother's garden. For the first time, he stared directly into Liam's eyes. He said he wanted to be with Liam. Perhaps it was not a confession. It felt more like a unilateral declaration. Liam was frightened and fled the scene. He suspected Ethan did not understand what love was. He probably did not know about same-sex attraction. Liam quit his job the next day. Ethan's family sent people to find him, but he refused them all. Now, he looked at the dark glint in Ethan's eyes. It reminded him of that day. Panic rose in him again. He quickly pushed Ethan away. Liam asked why he pretended to be a woman. Ethan said he was afraid Liam would run again. He questioned if Ethan had become his roommate on purpose. Ethan admitted it was true. He said Liam had taken care of him. Now he was returning the favor. Ethan looked at him earnestly, but it was Liam who could not meet his gaze. Liam thanked him for the help. He tried to leave with his cat, but Ethan blocked the door. Ethan asked if he could stop avoiding him. He said he was learning to be a normal person. He pleaded for a chance to pursue him. Liam stared at him in disbelief. 2 years had passed and he still had this idea? He asked if he could refuse. Ethan said yes, but his eyes grew darker as he stared at Liam. It seemed a refusal would be meaningless. Ethan was stubborn by nature. He would not easily abandon his goals. After that day, Ethan sometimes came to the apartment to cook. Liam watched him expertly prepare a roast chicken. The process was clean and efficient. He learned Ethan's college major was forensic science. Ethan's cold exterior made him seem lost in his own world. Strangely, the major seemed to suit him. One weekend, a friend of Liam's stayed out too late. The dorms were locked, so he asked to stay over. Liam happily agreed. His friend went to the bathroom to wash up. Ethan leaned against the balcony railing. He watched Liam hang clothes with a strange intensity. Ethan asked if he was going to sleep with his friend. Liam said of course he couldn't make a guest sleep on the sofa. Ethan suggested Liam could sleep with him. Liam's hand froze, almost dropping a shirt. He told Ethan to get some rest. Ethan repeated his demand. Liam said it was impossible. They barely knew each other. Ethan countered that they were not strangers. He said they had slept together before. Liam asked when that had ever happened. Ethan explained that during Liam's blindness, he would watch him sleep. He would then fall asleep on the edge of the bed. Ethan's casual tone left Liam stunned and angry. He questioned how Ethan could secretly enter his room. Liam asked him if he was some kind of pervert. Ethan calmly replied that perhaps he was. He then took Liam's pillow and moved it to his room. He warned Liam that if he did not come over, he might become even more perverse. Liam pressed his lips together, refusing to engage. He procrastinated until very late. He let his friend go to bed first. In the end, he did not go to Ethan's room. He spent a restless night on the sofa. His neck was stiff the next morning. While washing up, Ethan appeared behind him, looking displeased. He demanded to know why Liam had not come. He asked if Liam hated being with him that much. Ethan said he was more obedient when he was blind. He had to rely on him, unable to go anywhere. Liam did not dare to look at his almost fanatical gaze. The man was truly insane. His class schedule became lighter. Ethan started visiting the apartment more frequently. It seemed he was genuinely trying to court him. Sometimes Liam would open the refrigerator. He would find a shelf filled with fresh flowers. Hot meals would be waiting on the table. But Liam simply could not believe he understood emotion. Ethan had been isolated for too long. He had not interacted properly with others. So he developed a fixation on the first familiar person. It was a classic case of imprinting. It was not love. Liam tried to avoid Ethan by spending his time in the library. An underclassman named Jesse was graduating soon. He asked Liam for help reviewing his final paper. That evening, Jesse treated him to tacos as thanks. Jesse complained about his advisor. He asked Liam about his future plans for grad school or a job. Liam offered some advice. His phone lit up with Ethan's name. He hesitated for a moment before answering. He asked what was wrong. Ethan said he had made dinner. He knew Liam had no classes and asked why he wasn't home. Liam replied that he was busy. Ethan pressed, asking what he was doing. Liam did not want to say. They had no real relationship. He disliked being interrogated. He told Ethan he was hanging up. Ethan told him to look out the window. Liam turned his head. Under a large oak tree stood a figure in a dark gray coat. Ethan stared at him from a distance. His voice was flat over the phone. He told Liam he would wait there for him. They would go home together after he finished eating. His stance was like someone there to capture a fugitive. Liam frowned in annoyance. He thought if Ethan wanted to wait, then let him wait. An hour later, Jesse was full. He said he couldn't eat anymore. He asked Liam if they were leaving yet. Liam glanced out the window. The man was still there in the exact same position. He sighed, getting up to pay the bill with Jesse. After saying goodbye to Jesse at the door, Ethan walked over slowly. Liam saw his hands were red from the cold. He frowned, asking if he was cold standing there. Ethan said he was fine. He stared at Liam with a deep look in his eyes. He simply said it was time to go home. Looking at his face, Liam suddenly felt afraid to return. But where else could he go? He trailed reluctantly behind him. Back at the apartment, the food on the table was cold. It looked untouched. Liam asked if Ethan had not eaten. Ethan did not answer him. A turbulent undercurrent hid beneath the calm surface. Liam sensed the atmosphere was wrong. He tried to go to his room. Ethan quickly grabbed him and pinned him against the wall. His hands were cold, but his gaze was scorching. Ethan asked what he should do. He said he was in a bad mood. He asked Liam to let him have a kiss. Liam panicked, his voice trembling. He told Ethan not to be crazy. Ethan's beautiful eyes stared at him, moving closer. Liam's whole body tensed up. His heart pounded as if it would burst from his chest. He pleaded for him to stop. He threatened that he would force him to move out. Ethan finally paused. Liam looked at him with fear. He wanted to push him away but feared provoking him. He worried Ethan might do something drastic. Ethan raised a hand to touch his hair. Liam flinched away in fear. Ethan asked if he was afraid of him. He let out a soft laugh. He said he was the one who was afraid of Liam. His fingers gently brushed against his hair. Perhaps truly afraid of him leaving, Ethan behaved for a few days. At the end of the month, Liam was busy writing his paper. He did research and did not see Ethan much. One evening, he left the library late. The campus dining hall was already closed. He found a small diner to eat at. While he was ordering, a dispute broke out. A drunk man was harassing a young woman. After she rejected him, the man grabbed her hair. He threw her to the ground in anger. The man yelled that she was ungrateful. He was probably embarrassed and wanted to teach her a lesson. Liam was shocked and quickly stepped in to stop him. The man was somewhat sober but used alcohol as an excuse. He grabbed Liam by the collar without hesitation. He told him it was none of his business. He ordered Liam to get lost. Liam told him to let go. He warned the man he would call the police. He feigned composure as he took out his phone. The man angrily swatted his hand. His phone hit the floor and was stomped on several times. The drunk man sneered at the threat of police. He boasted about his connections. He declared he would teach the woman a lesson tonight. He laughed arrogantly. Liam shielded the woman with his body. The man, annoyed by the interference, swung a beer bottle. Liam was a second too slow. He instinctively raised his arm to block the blow. The bottle shattered with a loud crack but never hit him. He looked up to see Ethan standing in front of him. Red liquid streamed down from his forehead. He seemed unaware of it. He calmly stepped forward and punched the drunk to the ground. He followed with several kicks, leaving the man unable to stand. Ethan knew the human body's weaknesses and vital points. Liam was frightened by his ruthless assault. He took a few seconds to react before pulling him back. He yelled at Ethan to stop. He warned that he might kill the man. Ethan's eyes were dark with malice as he looked back. He asked Liam if he was okay. Liam assured him he was fine. He said he had already called the police. He begged him to stop fighting. Ethan looked down and saw blood on Liam's wrist. He tried to wipe it away. He realized more blood was appearing. It was dripping steadily from his own hairline. Before going to the hospital, the woman thanked them profusely. Her makeup was ruined by tears. Ethan came home with his head wrapped in gauze. Fortunately, the wound was not deep. It had not damaged his brilliant mind. Liam carefully helped him with water and medicine. Ethan enjoyed the attention, relaxing on the sofa. He seemed quite content. Liam asked if his head hurt. He asked if he felt uncomfortable anywhere else. Ethan suggested that if it hurt, Liam could help him shower. Liam saw his serious expression and felt helpless. He told him to stop joking. Ethan insisted he was being serious. Liam refused, telling him not to even think about it. Ethan pouted, then asked him to sleep with him instead. He claimed his head felt strange when he looked down. The doctor had recommended observation from a caregiver. Having just refused one request, Liam found this one harder to deny. After all, the injury was because of him. Ethan was using a clever negotiation tactic. Liam had to agree. When Ethan came out of the shower, his pajama shorts were short. Liam saw bruises on his body and his eyes widened. He asked about the many injuries. He wondered why Ethan had not mentioned them at the hospital. Ethan glanced down and shrugged indifferently. He said they were not from the fight. He disliked crowded places. When he felt overwhelmed in class, he would pinch himself. It was his way of training himself to integrate socially. Liam was stunned for a moment. A complex feeling stirred within him. Was this how Ethan navigated the world? He must have been in so much pain for so long. Ethan approached him with a calm expression. He asked if Liam pitied him. He then asked if he could help apply ointment. A faint scent of soap wafted over. Liam paused for a moment, then pushed him away. He told him not to push his luck. He found the ointment and tossed it to him. That night, Liam slept dutifully on the side near the wall. There was enough space for another person between them. He tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. The image of Ethan shielding him replayed in his mind. Throughout the night, Ethan did nothing inappropriate. But when Liam woke up, he found himself entangled in Ethan's limbs. He was held tightly in a completely possessive embrace. Pressed against the wall, he was trapped in Ethan's arms. He pushed at his arm, waking him up. Ethan nuzzled his neck, seeming to have slept well. He wished Liam a good morning. Liam told him to let go. He struggled to get up. Ethan held his waist, his voice a little hoarse. He told him not to move, to let him recover. Liam froze, truly not daring to move. After getting up, he made breakfast for the patient. He was not very skilled. The eggs were burnt, and the toast was a bit hard. He looked at Ethan apologetically. He suggested he drink more milk. The milk was store-bought and fresh. Ethan did not complain. He ate everything with a cheerful expression. He asked if Liam would always be this nice if he were always sick. Liam told him not to say such things. His thoughts were always so strange. As he put on his shoes to leave for class, Ethan watched him. He propped his head on his hand, looking thoughtful. Liam carefully tended to Ethan for a few days. He was relieved when his head wound had mostly healed. After helping Jesse with his paper, Jesse was ecstatic. He insisted on taking Liam to a movie. Liam had nothing planned that evening, so he agreed. It was a science fiction film he was interested in. He chatted with Jesse for a bit while they shared popcorn. Just as the movie started, he received a call from Ethan. He asked why Liam was not back yet. He had made Liam's favorite dish, sea bass. Liam said he was busy and told him to eat without him. Ethan heard the movie starting in the background and paused. He suddenly coughed a few times. He said he felt unwell after cooking. He asked if Liam would come back to check on him. Liam replied that he was not a doctor. Besides, his head injury was healed. What could possibly be wrong? He told Ethan to stop his clumsy acting. He was at the movies with a friend and hung up. The movie was exciting, but Liam was distracted, frequently checking his phone. Ethan was so annoying. He always managed to disrupt his focus. That night, he returned to the apartment. The place was dark, and the food on the table was untouched again. What was wrong with Ethan? Was he on a hunger strike? Liam called his name a few times, but there was no response. But the light in his room was on. He knocked and pushed the door open. He found him lying on the bed, his face flushed. He asked Ethan what was wrong. Liam touched his forehead. It was burning hot. Was he really sick? Ethan felt his cool hand and found it comforting. He rubbed his cheek against it. He murmured that Liam had finally come. Liam stood up to get him medicine. Ethan grabbed his wrist. He looked at him with pitiful eyes. He begged him not to leave. Liam assured him he wouldn't go far. He told him to rest and he would be right back. He softened his voice as if coaxing a child. Once he let go, Liam found the first aid kit. He got a thermometer and fever reducer. Fortunately, the temperature was manageable. He fed Ethan some porridge and medicine. Ethan drifted into a hazy sleep. His hand never let go of Liam's. Liam gazed at the boy's delicate features. A wave of sympathy washed over him. Ethan had been neglected by his parents his whole life. He couldn't even take care of himself as an adult. Liam went to clean up the food on the table. As he put it in the fridge, he noticed all the ice packs were gone. He was confused. Later, while showering, he saw the corner of an ice pack in the bathroom trash. So many ice packs, all used at once? He wondered why. He touched the bathtub. It was still damp. A thought crossed his mind. A surge of anger rose within him. The next day, Ethan got up, still looking weak. Seeing Liam, he put on a frail act. He deliberately asked him to peel an egg for him. Liam complied, placing the peeled egg in his hand. He also passed him the warmed milk. Ethan was surprised by how agreeable he was. He could not help but glance at him. He asked what was wrong, why Liam was staring at him. Liam said this was what he wanted, wasn't it? His cold tone made Ethan sit up straight. He asked if Liam was angry, and why. Liam said it was because all the ice packs had disappeared overnight. He demanded to know the reason. Ethan's hand holding the chopsticks paused. He did not even bother to lie. Instead, he smiled slightly. He asked if Liam had found out. He wished he had taken out the trash sooner. Seeing his nonchalant attitude, Liam's anger boiled over. He shouted that it was enough. He asked if Ethan found tormenting himself amusing. He told him to stop bothering him if he liked pretending to be sick. He stood up in frustration, wanting to return to his room. Ethan urgently grabbed him, pulling him into his lap. Liam stumbled, trapped between his chest and the dining table. Ethan apologized, saying he didn't want to fake it, but he wanted him to come home. He would rather burn with a fever. He could not stand to see him with someone else. Ethan rested his head on his shoulder. Perhaps due to his weakness, his words sounded like a plea. Liam stated that the person was just a classmate. He asked what it had to do with Ethan. He said Ethan did not love him. He was just used to his presence. He suggested that Ethan should meet more people now. Perhaps he would find someone he genuinely liked. He patiently explained the concept of imprinting, but Ethan just stared at him, seemingly impervious. He told Ethan to see the world. He said not to fall in love with a stream just because he had never seen the ocean. Ethan replied that it was because of him that he wanted to see the world. Suddenly, Liam's heart felt a soft pang. He nuzzled his neck and sighed. He asked what the world had to do with him. He just wanted to be near him. Ethan was too extreme. Sometimes Liam did not know how to face him. He started coming home only when Ethan was not there. Returning home felt like a clandestine operation. One morning, he was carefully putting on his shoes to leave. He noticed his shoes had changed. They had been slightly worn before, but now they looked perfect. He frowned, examining them closely. They were a brand new pair. Did Ethan buy them? He knelt in the entryway and saw a new keychain. He suddenly remembered many things. Anything broken in the apartment would be fixed the next day. The items on the bathroom sink were always neatly arranged. The refrigerator was always stocked with his favorite fruits. Were these his efforts to win him over? A complex mix of emotions washed over him. Snapping out of it, he rushed out of the apartment as if fleeing. That weekend, it rained heavily. The power went out in the apartment. Thunder rumbled continuously outside. Ethan came and knocked on his door. His freshly washed hair was damp. His features looked innocent, like a harmless high school student. He said the room was too dark. He asked if they could sleep together. Liam refused. Ethan said the thunder made him very nervous. Liam asked how he managed before. He would hide under the covers. When it became unbearable, he would pinch himself. He said this very seriously. Liam looked at the faint bruises on his arm and hesitated. He thought it was just sleeping together. He had slept with friends before. It was no different. He reassured himself and let him into the room. At night, Ethan lay very close to him. Liam could hear the rain and Ethan's heartbeat. He felt flustered and gently pushed him away. He told him to move further away. Ethan grabbed his hand and pulled him into a sudden embrace. The clean scent of soap enveloped him. He immediately struggled. He told him to let go. He warned Ethan to leave if he did not release him. Ethan asked for a kiss instead. In the darkness, his eyes seemed bright and deep. Liam said no. Ethan told him to say yes. He leaned in, his lips gently touching Liam's. Liam flinched slightly but did not react. Thinking he had not been rejected, Ethan cupped his face and continued. The kiss was tentative, even clumsy. How did it come to this? Trapped in his arms, Liam's heart raced. His hands trembled slightly. After the kiss, Ethan gently stroked the back of his head. He said Liam's trembling reminded him of a rabbit from his experiments. The rabbit was scared and wanted to run. He would soothe it and sedate it. It became completely dependent on him. He then asked Liam to depend on him too. His obsessive tone frightened him. Liam turned over, his back to him. He told Ethan to get out. He could see he was not afraid at all. Ethan leaned against his shoulder and sighed. He started to say that his parents were never around. Liam cut him off, telling him to be quiet. He had never seen him so clingy with anyone else. He felt helpless. That strange feeling surfaced again. He touched his lips, his heart still not calm. It was over. He would not be able to sleep. The next day, the rain stopped. He was awakened by the cat scratching at the door. As he was about to get up to feed Plato, the person behind him held him. He told him not to go. Ethan looked annoyed, clearly displeased by the cat. Took a long time to shake him off. While he fed the cat, Ethan got up to make breakfast. He deliberately placed Plato's treats on a high shelf. He claimed the cat was too fat for too many snacks. Plato meowed at him, then rubbed against Liam's legs. Looking at its plump body, Liam agreed with Ethan. At breakfast, the fried egg was heart-shaped. He poked it a few times before quickly eating it. Ethan watched him eat, a smile in his eyes. He suggested they continue sleeping together. He offered to cook for him every day. Liam told him to forget it. The power was back, and the rain had stopped. He should go back to his own room. Ethan's eyes drooped with disappointment. A few seconds later, his gaze drifted to the circuit breaker. His thoughtful expression revealed his intentions. Liam stopped him. He warned him not to get any dangerous ideas. He threatened to really move out. Ethan sighed, clearly missing the previous night. Recently, a female classmate from his program had been seeking him out. Ava wrote excellent papers and had worked with him before. After class, she invited him to dinner again. He watched her attentively, feeling something was off. He knew he was not her type. She ordered his favorite dishes and bought his usual drink. He sat there, hesitant to eat. Ava rested her chin on her hands and smiled at him. She said she had a favor to ask. It was a trap, just as he had suspected. He told her to go ahead. She said she heard he was roommates with Ethan. She asked if he could get his contact information for her. She looked down shyly, her face blushing. So that was it. He hesitated, wanting to say Ethan did not like women. But that was his business, not Liam's to share. He said it was no problem, he would ask for her. She thanked him, promising to treat him to a good meal. Ava grabbed his arm excitedly. He smiled and nodded. Just then, he saw Ethan walk past the window. Speak of the devil. Ethan passed the dining hall and headed toward the pharmacy. Was he sick again? Liam sent him a text message. He asked why Ethan was going to the pharmacy. Ethan replied that he had a headache and was buying medicine. He wondered if it was a side effect from his head injury. Liam frowned. Was it that serious? He would feel responsible if Ethan suffered lasting damage. He told Ethan to wait for him at the school gate. He would take him to the hospital for a checkup. Ethan replied it was not necessary. He told him to continue his meal with his friend. It seemed he had seen them together. Liam continued eating with Ava, glancing at his phone often. He asked if he felt unwell, but Ethan did not reply. After dinner, Ava wanted to go to the library. Liam declined. He decided to check on Ethan first. Entering the apartment, he found Ethan on the sofa reading. He did not look up, radiating a low-pressure aura. Liam asked if he had bought medicine. He offered to take him to the hospital. Ethan ignored him. Liam approached, wanting to check his healing wound. Ethan grabbed his hand, pulling him down onto the sofa. His usually pure eyes were now dark and stormy. He asked why he had come back. He knew Liam had been avoiding him. He asked if he enjoyed being with her. Liam felt a pang of guilt at his interrogation, but he found his anger to be irrational. He told him to let go, that it was none of his business. He questioned how Ethan always knew when he was with someone. He asked if he was being followed. Ethan did not answer, speaking his own thoughts. He asked Liam if he liked her. He stared at him, his body tense. His grip on Liam's wrist tightened. Just as Liam was about to respond, he lowered his head. A fierce kiss from Ethan silenced him. He seemed afraid to hear the answer. Ethan was slightly more skilled this time. The kiss was urgent. Liam frowned and deliberately bit his lip, but he did not pull away. The taste of blood filled their mouths. It made Ethan's lips seem even redder. He said he could pursue Liam forever, but if Liam liked someone else, he would lose control. Liam panted, turning his head away. He was afraid to meet the intense desire in his eyes. He said he did not like anyone else. He explained the girl wanted to pursue Ethan. She had asked him for his contact information. The tension in Ethan's brow eased slightly. He told Liam to tell her that he was pursuing him. Ethan lowered his head, licking the blood from the corner of his mouth. Liam's heart pounded wildly. He had not pushed him away either time. After a long moment, Ethan finally let go. Liam realized his ears were burning. He asked if his head still hurt. He offered again to go to the hospital. Ethan said it stopped hurting when he saw him. Liam glared at him. He told Ethan not to joke about his health anymore. Ethan's tone was solemn. He said he was not joking. Seeing him with others genuinely gave him a headache. His serious words left Liam speechless. Later, in front of Ethan, he politely declined Ava's request. He texted that Ethan was not interested in women. Ava replied with a question mark. Then she replied that she could be a man. She sent a winking emoji. The paper he had worked on for months was finally complete. He submitted it to a journal however, it was rejected. The reason given was plagiarism. He checked his work repeatedly, confused. Finally, he found a similar article in the journal's archives. The author's name was Marcus. This person was an upperclassman he knew from a course. Marcus had been held back a year and was always anxious. No wonder he had specifically asked to borrow his computer. Liam immediately called Marcus, but he did not answer. He had to wait for him at his dorm to confront him. When Marcus saw him, he looked guilty. He pulled him into an empty stairwell. He said Liam had a bright future and had been published before, but he had made no progress and was out of ideas. He was about to graduate again. If he did not get published, he would be held back another year. He begged Liam to let it go for old time's sake. He offered to pay him, asking him to name a price. Liam looked at him coldly. The man showed no remorse. No wonder he was being held back. That paper was his hard work. No amount of money could measure its value. He did not need the money, but what was his should not be stolen. Marcus scoffed, looking down on him. He suggested the price was not high enough. He offered to add another zero. Liam addressed him with respect out of courtesy. But since he insisted on insulting him, he would report it. He warned him to face the consequences. He looked at him calmly and turned to leave. Before he could take a few steps, Marcus grabbed him. A sinister look appeared in his eyes. He pulled Liam's hand from his pocket. Liam clutched his phone, but it was snatched away. Marcus saw the recording screen and his anger flared. He deleted the recording and threw the phone down the stairs. It shattered into pieces. Marcus knew he had come prepared. He taunted him, asking if he thought his little trick would work. He questioned what proof he had of the plagiarism. He warned him not to be naive. If their professor found out about his academic dishonesty, he would also fail. He looked very pleased with himself. He transferred a few $100s to Liam's account. He said it was to pay for the phone. He told him not to bother him again. Liam clenched his fists, trembling with rage. After returning home, he drank several glasses of cold water to calm down. He opened his computer and gathered what little proof he had. He sent it to the journal but the only replied that they would review it. There was no telling how long that would take. By then, Marcus would have graduated. Where would he find him to settle the score? Ethan came back with groceries. He saw Liam staring blankly on the sofa and frowned. He asked what was wrong. He asked if he was in a bad mood. Liam said it was nothing. He looked down, unaccustomed to sharing his problems with him. Ethan did not press further. He just asked if he wanted to eat roast chicken. He made a delicious and comforting meal that night. Liam was feeling down, so he drank with him. As he drank more, he found himself leaning on Ethan's shoulder. Alcohol brought out his vulnerable emotions. Ethan asked him again to talk about it. Liam tearfully complained about his day. He said he had worked so hard, only to have it stolen. He felt so wronged. Long, slender fingers wiped away his tears. Ethan listened quietly, his eyes fixed on him. He asked if Ethan thought he would plagiarize. Ethan said no, he believed him. Liam gave a foolish smile. Ethan pinched his earlobe, moving closer. Liam quickly pulled back, pushing him away. He asked what he was doing, trying to take advantage of him again. Ethan said he saw he was upset and wanted to cheer him up. Liam asked if cheering him up meant kissing him. He glared at him and finished the last of his beer. Ethan's voice was tempting. He said he heard eating sweets could improve one's mood. Liam asked what his point was. Ethan told him he could try. He moved closer. His thin lips were pink and glossy, like ripe cherries. Liam felt dizzy and leaned in to kiss him. But his mouth was not sweet, just very soft. He called him a liar, saying it was not sweet at all. Ethan told him to taste it again. His gaze deepened. He held the back of his head, preventing his escape. Another kiss fell upon his lips. This time, Liam did not resist. He even felt a sense of anticipation. He was unaware of his changing feelings for him. The alcohol finally pulled him into sleep. He felt someone holding him, stroking his hair. A voice whispered not to worry. June arrived and thesis defenses were approaching. Liam had told his advisor about the plagiarism, but his advisor was reluctant to offend another professor. He told Liam to handle it himself, unless he could provide concrete evidence directly to the university. While he was anxiously wondering what to do, things changed. The journal suddenly retracted Marcus's article. The OR said Marcus had confessed to plagiarism himself. Liam was surprised. He thought Marcus had a change of heart. He submitted his own paper. Later, he never saw Marcus on campus. He could not ask him what had happened. After his article was published, he heard from a friend. Marcus had not attended his thesis defense and was held back again. Liam assumed he was avoiding his studies. Ethan wanted to celebrate with him. He took him grocery shopping. Seeing Liam happy, he seemed to be in a good mood too. The orange sunset filtered through the trees. They had just walked a short distance from their apartment. A disheveled man with a scraggly beard suddenly rushed toward them. Liam was startled and grabbed Ethan's arm. Looking closer, he saw it was Marcus. Marcus's eyes were bloodshot, as if he hadn't slept in days. He yelled that it was him. He accused him of causing him to miss his defense. Liam was utterly confused. Marcus was filled with resentment, his eyes showing desperation. He blamed Liam for opposing him. He lamented that his father would be furious. His life was ruined. It was all over. Liam noticed red marks on his wrist, as if from being tied up. He frowned, pulling Ethan back a few steps. He was about to tell Marcus to calm down, but Marcus pulled a knife from his pocket and charged at him. Liam froze, his legs refusing to move. The next second, Ethan shoved him aside forcefully. Marcus missed and charged at him again. The blade glinted in the sunlight. As it came down, a hand blocked it. Ethan expressionlessly grabbed the blade. He kicked Marcus far away. He grabbed his collar and punched him repeatedly. Marcus was left unable to speak. A fierce look returned to his eyes, like when he beat the drunk man. Liam yelled at him to stop, that they should call the police. He called his name several times before he snapped out of it. Ethan stared coldly at the man on the ground, as if he were an object. Suddenly, he raised the knife and lunged toward Marcus. Liam was terrified. Just as he was about to grab him, the knife tip landed beside Marcus's ear. It did not harm him at all. The police came and took Marcus away. Liam and Ethan were also taken in for questioning. Because Marcus's injuries were not life-threatening, Ethan's actions were ruled self-defense. But only Liam knew that when he attacked, he had no intention of letting him live. Ethan understood the human body and injuries too well. He looked at the calm person beside him. Sometimes he found him terrifying. Other times he felt he was reliable. With mixed feelings, he went to the restroom. The interrogation room door was ajar. He heard Marcus's panicked voice from inside. He insisted someone had kidnapped him. He could not understand why they could not find any evidence. He claimed that was why he missed his defense. He begged the officer to investigate further, linking it to Liam. The officer impatiently told him to calm down. He said there were too few cameras near his home. The footage only showed him returning alone. The marks on his body did not suggest a malicious act. Neighbors reported hearing his television. They mentioned hearing some ambiguous sounds. The officer asked what proof he had of being kidnapped. Marcus shook his head in disbelief. He kept repeating it was impossible, that someone was behind it. His voice faded, his eyes becoming dull. The officer whispered to a colleague to arrange a psychiatric evaluation for him. Liam saw Marcus's defeated and helpless expression. Felt very familiar. He had experienced the same thing weeks ago. He had no proof that his paper was plagiarized. He remembered that during Marcus's disappearance, Ethan came home very late. Could it be? He returned to Ethan's side, lost in thought. Ethan handed him a glass of warm water. The person before him had a gentle expression. His eyes were as clear as the first snow. He could never associate him with such terrible things. It was a confusing contradiction. Marcus was to be sentenced for attempted assault. After being expelled, his academic dishonesty became a huge scandal. Liam accompanied Ethan to the hospital to change his dressing. He would not be able to do lab work for a month. His well-defined fingers were bandaged. He waved his hand in front of Liam. He asked what he was thinking about. After the nurse left, Liam looked at him seriously. He asked why he had grabbed the knife. He knew he could have dodged it. Ethan said he was afraid Liam would get hurt. Liam countered that he had done it on purpose. His fingers stilled for a moment. Liam sighed internally. He told Ethan his acting skills were truly terrible. Caught in his lie, Ethan did not try to hide it. He just smiled at him. He said Liam had found him out again. He confessed he had wanted to trade that wound for a relationship. But he was afraid of making him angry, so he never mentioned it. Ethan did not say it, but Liam knew. It was not bad acting. He had deliberately let him find out, because he knew Liam would soften. With his injury, Ethan had a reason for him to stay. He could have his full attention, which he enjoyed most. Sunlight streamed through the window, landing on his hair. It made him look soft and gentle, but his eyes still held that deep possessiveness. Liam gathered his courage. He decided to face the strange feelings in his heart. He stepped forward and took his hand. He said even if Ethan had not saved him, he would be with him. He did not want to see him hurt again. Ethan smiled and nodded with a hint of triumph. His fingertips slid between Liam's, holding his hand tightly. His words always seemed to have an effect. After that, he rarely pinched himself. When he felt overwhelmed, he would come to Liam for comfort. They both unspokenly avoided the topic of who kidnapped Marcus. It was as if it were truly just karma. After Ethan's hand recovered, he caught up on his lab work. He also practiced his cooking skills. He prepared a roast chicken for him. Liam watched him, feeling a bit unnerved. He tried to negotiate with him. He said it was delicious but asked for something else next time. He was tired of meat. Ethan focused only on the first part of his sentence. He was in a good mood. He took Plato's treats down from the high shelf. Plato happily rubbed against his legs. Usually, Plato would demand attention from Liam. Like when they watched movies at night, it would jump on his lap, nudging his hand. Ethan would frown, disliking the distraction. He would lure Plato away with a toy. Then he would move Liam's hand to his own leg. He would tell Liam to pet him instead. Liam's ears would burn. He would punch him lightly, telling him to be serious. But Ethan's earnest gaze always made him feel like he was the one being silly. He would hold him while watching the movie. His hand would wander lower and lower. Finally, his fingertips would rest on his lower back. Liam would grab his hand and glare at him. He would ask if Liam knew what that spot was. Liam would say he did not, telling him to watch the movie. Ethan explained it was the last lumbar vertebra. Just a little lower was. Liam told him to stop moving. He offered to teach him an anatomy lesson. He claimed it was more interesting than the movie. Liam said he did not want to hear it. Ethan leaned in to kiss him, insisting on giving his lesson. He would meticulously explain every point his fingers touched. Liam's face was flushed. He refused to look at him. Once their eyes met, it was impossible to look away. Ethan asked why he was blushing. He told him to pay attention. There would be a quiz later. Whenever it thundered and rained, Ethan would act spoiled. He would either ask for a hug or demand to be coaxed. Later, on a rainy day, Liam went to pick him up from his lab. He arrived early before the bell rang. A loud clap of thunder shook the building. A girl in the lab jumped, complaining about the weather. In the back row, Ethan's eyes were fixed on the scalpel in his hand. His hand was steady, completely absorbed in his world. He was not scared at all. So he had been pretending all along? He had long overcome his fear of thunder. Liam smiled to himself in the corner, waiting for class to end. The bell rang. Ethan took off his white lab coat. His eyes lit up when he saw Liam. Liam asked what he wanted to eat. Ethan said he could decide. He took the umbrella and they walked downstairs together. Thunder cracked again, and he squeezed Liam's hand. He said the thunder was very loud. Liam pretended not to understand his hidden meaning. Ethan stopped walking, feigning nervousness. He said he was scared and asked for a kiss. Liam watched his performance quietly, not exposing him. If he enjoyed acting, he would play along. He said okay and told him to lower his head. A smile curved Ethan's lips. He lowered the umbrella and his head. Passers-by did not notice them. In the curtain of rain, Liam kissed him. He contentedly nuzzled his nose against Liam's. He took his hand and continued walking. The rain-slicked pavement reflected their two close figures.